Hi everybody. So sex and intimacy. Let's talk about this because it's like a lot of people, especially women, still have a hard time wrapping their minds around the fact that sex does not lead to intimacy. You can have sex with somebody every day for 5 years and not be intimate with that person, because sex has nothing to do with intimacy whatsoever. Actually, sex is actually a physical representation of what should be going on at the soul and spirit level between two people. Except that half the time, the two people carrying out the act of sex are not even connected at their soul or spirit level. So the sex is just a physical thing. It starts with as a physical thing, ends as a physical thing, holds no meaning beyond that whatsoever. Okay? Let's break this thing down. Intimacy happens when a man opens his heart, right, and invites a woman in. The woman opens her heart and invites the man in. That exchange of energy that happens is what we are, is what we act out when we are engaged in sex. Because when the man's penis is in the woman, both are connected, both are one. But that oneness means nothing if the heart, if the souls, if the spirits are not connected. It means nothing. Okay? When you are intimate with somebody, you open your heart, they open their heart, both of you merge in your energy and become one, right? So that when you guys are now having sex, is simply an enactment of what already happens to you guys on a daily basis, because both of you are so connected that you are making love to each other all the time. Making love is our attempt to create connection with somebody. But if you don't have a soul and a spirit connection with the person, making love becomes just a physical thing. It means nothing, and it does not lead to nothing. It does not lead to any form of intimacy. Intimacy that is soul and spirit deep, when you guys have sex, it becomes more like a form of worship, a form of both of you just worshiping and so lost in each other's bodies that both of you are carrying out physically what already happens spiritually and at the soul level. So both of you are pouring into each other. Both of you are giving into each other. You are loving this man with your body. This man is loving you with your body. You are just not touching his body. You are touching his cells. You are touching the core of his being. Sex becomes such a deeper thing. And the funny thing about it is, when two people are connected at the soul level, sex does not become priority anymore, because these two people are engaged in sex all the time. When they are talking to each other, when they are eating, when they are sitting together, the souls are always merged, the souls are always touching, so they are engaged in sex all the time. So the physical act of sex ceases to become priority. It's not their primary way of connecting to each other, because they're already connected to each other. Okay, this is how they become telepathic. Telepathy means when you are able to feel or sense somebody. People that share a deep soul connection tend to be telepathic. They tend to be able to know what the other person is feeling. They tend to be able to, even if they're miles apart, they can tell what the other person is feeling. They can tell the feeling and the physical and spiritual state of that person, because their soul is connected. It's like having one soul in two bodies. Okay, so we need to stop trying to use sex as a means to create intimacy. It does not work that way. Okay, it does not work. Intimacy is a conscious choice to open up yourself and to keep yourself open to the other person, so that the other person has access to you at all times. The other person, you never close the door. You never shut yourself down. You never shut the door to yourself, because Once you shut the door to yourself, you build a wall. And once that wall is up, that person can't access you anymore. Okay? But you have to constantly make a conscious choice to stay open, to be accessible to this other person. So even when it's people meet their soulmates, or people meet their twin souls, or anything like that, and the connection is spontaneous, like it happens automatically, you still have to do the work on yourself to stay open to them. Because challenges are going to come, and you're going to face circumstances that will bring up your past issues, if you have any, that will give you the option of shutting yourself off so you don't get hurt. But you need to, even then, make a decision to stay open, to stay accessible, to keep yourself open so that this energy exchange can continue. And as that energy exchange continues and starts to grow, you will notice that two people that are close to each other spiritually, they will start to take on each other's physical characteristics. Have you noticed that? When you see two people who have been together for a long time, who are close to each other, that's how you can tell when two people are truly close to each other. They start to look like each other. They start to take on each other's physical characteristics, because their energy is so intertwined that this person's energy has picked up this other person's energy, and their DNA starts to, when their cells starts to multiply, they're multiplying based on this energetic code to receive from this other person. And before you know it, those two people start to look like each other. Okay, so let's stop trying to create intimacy through sex. You cannot create intimacy through sex. Let's stop doing that. Okay, and let's start understanding that sex is a sacred form of communication between two people who are already sharing a soul intimacy with each other. I know there are some people who use sex for other things, like, other things. I'm not even going to go there, but I'm just talking about in terms of relationships. You cannot create intimacy through sex. I hope this is clear to everybody. Okay?